Everyone loves the idea of building their dream home until they realize they need to make decisions, a lot of decisions. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But that's not to say that the journey isn't incredibly fun. If you've got the time, the budget, and the stomach for it, you could be in for one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. But just be warned, it will test your patience, your sanity, and possibly even your relationship. It's incredible how emotional the process can be. I've seen it from many sides now, from working with builders who stay somewhat detached from the emotional side to going through it personally with my own husband when we built our own home, and then with clients as I help navigate their own vision. When a builder is building a custom home, they are thinking about the design through the lens of what will appeal to luxury buyers. But they've gone through the process so many times and they can limit or rule out selections fairly quickly to narrow in on what fits their budget best. But when it's your own home, every choice feels huge. You second guess everything, but it's so rewarding when you see that finished product. Thankfully, my husband and I were pretty aligned on most of our choices, but that's not always the case for everyone. And what should have been a 12-month build can, for many, drag on to 2 years without guidance. So where does it all start? Usually someone comes to me and says, I want to build a custom home. Great. Now we need to find the raw dirt. There was a time when land was more available, more affordable, but those days are mostly behind us, in large part because of the surge from the pandemic. But don't get me wrong, Boise and the Treasure Valley still have plenty of land. It's just either more expensive or you're building a bit further out, as opportunities centrally located near city centers have mostly been developed. But finding the right lot comes with its own challenges. Sometimes the perfect lot is already optioned by a builder, meaning if you want to that location, you're committed to that builder. Other communities let you bring your own builder, so you're not locked in. Once we find the land, then comes the next step, choosing the builder, assuming it's not already selected for you because of the lot you chose. This means interviewing multiple builders to find the one that aligns with your vision, communication style, and your process. In some cases, the builder already has a floor plan you love and you just modify it, or you might be starting completely from scratch. In our own build, we literally started with sketches on a napkin. That was our first draft. From there, we handed it off to a draftsman to create the plan. But before you head straight to the architect or the draftsman, there is another key team member to think about: the interior designer. Whether you bring them in early to help shape the layout for your lifestyle, or once the plans are drafted, a designer helps create the flow and feel that turns your house into a home. So once we've identified the land, selected the builder, and have a floor plan taking shape, it's time to dive into the design details. So come with me today as I have a chat with Crystal Andrea of Onyx Scott Interiors, and let's see how we bring these concepts to completion.
Hello, Erica. Crystal.
Welcome in. So good to see you.
So good to see you. Welcome to Onyx Scott.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your space with us and your knowledge and expertise.
Absolutely.
Crystal, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of time with us to kind of walk through the process. So you and I have worked on a number of projects together, and we've seen it where it might be a builder who is building a custom home, but one he is intending to sell. And that can be one type of design process. And then we've worked with clients who they're building a custom home for themselves. So talk me through, what are those initial conversations look like, especially when we're talking about a client that I may bring to you that they're building a custom home and they have no idea what they're doing. What do those initial conversations look like?
Well, it's very different working with a builder versus working with a homeowner. I think the biggest thing is emotional attachment.
Sure.
It's easy to create a beautiful home. So many of us can do it. And
we really can't. So many of us can't. That's where your skill level comes in. And I think, just to touch on that for a moment, is when people come to me to want to build a custom home and they need assistance, they think for that moment, like, I can do this on my own. And it is so granular. There are so many decisions.
Yeah, there really are.
Yeah. So tell me about that.
Well, I think the biggest thing is there's so many decisions that homeowners don't realize they're going to have to be decisions. Sure. You don't know what you don't know. And even if you've had an experience of building a home before, every builder has different subcontractors. Those subcontractors have different options. So everyone is a little bit different. So working with a designer who really knows the builder, I think is very important, because there's so so many variables within each project that can really change your pricing
For sure.
and the outcome of your home. And it's an emotional process. So falling in love with something you can't afford
It is difficult.
it's hard.
I don't recommend it. Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
a tough place to start. So is that, okay, let's talk about that for a moment. Budgeting. When they come to you, you need to know, where does our budget sit for that end goal? Because then we may be talking quartz or granite or marble for all we know, you know, and
Absolutely.
there's such a variety and such a ladder
Yeah.
of choices.
Yeah. No matter what your budget is, there's no need to spend unnecessarily.
Sure.
So I think it's really important to know where you want to spend your money, know where you really are valuing the products that you're putting in your home. You know, for some people it's the kitchen. You're putting the most expensive products in the kitchen because that's the space you're going to entertain in and you're going to use every day. For some people, they really want a really cozy retreat for the master suite and they really want to make that area where they spend the majority of their time. So I always try and guide to budget in areas we can, no matter what your budget is,
Yes.
and splurge where it's really important too.
So what I heard there was that you're having conversations with the clients about what their lifestyle is. Do they spend a lot of time in their primary bedroom where they read, or maybe they want to have a spa-like bathroom, or they are a chef and they need a different kind of kitchen than I would need because I don't cook, you know, things like that. So those are conversations that
Absolutely.
you're having to create a very special space that is unique to them.
Absolutely. I get to know people a lot better than I'd like to sometimes. I know a lot about my clients. We get really personal, and it's important because I'm not going to live there. You're going to live there for the rest of your life in a lot of situations. So we really need to make sure that we know your lifestyle and that we're doing what you need for your home.
And I think a lot of times clients don't realize necessarily what they want until we're having those conversations with them.
Absolutely.
And suddenly they realize that they may have had a space in their last house that wasn't used, and they're duplicating it, but then they're realizing, oh, I don't need that space, or could I repurpose that space to something I've really